But let's get back to the topic, of the conversation. Trauma hurts women, trauma builds men. I agree 100%. Men have a high tolerance level that they can endure before it starts to affect them in a negative aspect. Not to say women can have any threshold for something traumatic. However, with the combination of a woman's emotions and depending on their upbringing, they can deal with unhealed experiences. A man can control it better than women. That's facts of life. Now, an individual in here, I'm gonna be respectful. Said, actually, let me pull up what they said because I won't say their name because this is a private group and I don't reveal stuff like that. Well, basically, they accused me of saying it's a broad generalization with no basis in facts, and they think the reason why I'm saying this because this was just taught to me. Now, here's the thing. Now, I'm like, something be nice because I almost got aggravated when I read that. Certain people don't need to be talking to me without certain life experience, and vice versa, of course. If I don't have the experience to speak on the subject, then I understand why people don't want to talk to me. I know people don't want to talk to me because they know, depending on what we're talking about, whatever debate style, they're going to get washed. But if I lack certain experience, they don't come my way. I would really like if people just leave me alone when it comes to that, because you aptly know that when it comes to dealing with trauma, there's a what's what I'm looking for? An after effect or a side effect to trauma, and just men can deal with it better. Men can obtain it better. Now, women combined with the emotion, it could go everywhere. I remember, like, that's why although this was taught to me, I have to see this for myself, and it's actually fact. A man can screw up and bounce back. If a woman screws up, it's going to be harder because of all the things that makes a woman comes into play combined with trauma. I had to see that for myself. So I know, in that regard, I know what I'm talking about. And you have to choose who you will want to go through a traumatic experience and have the opportunity to succeed in a timely manner. Who would you choose, a man or a woman? Or better, who would you choose, your son or your daughter? I'm going to put my son through whatever experience before I put my little girl through that. Now, let's get to this. Bruiser said trauma affects men and women the same. Cap. Bullshit. I like Bruiser, but no, it does not. Not even a little bit. Most of the success stories that you see, it's mostly men, if you really think about it. Now, who the media decides to publicize is up to the media. It's up to the media. But if you really just think about all the people who was able to go through hell and come back, it has majority been men. Not because, not to be sexist or misogynistic or whatever dumb shit to say now. It's just about that men got broader shoulders. Men, like I said earlier, men have a higher threshold for tolerance. Not to say women don't, it's just that men can handle it better. Where they can compartmentalize. Where if a woman goes through trauma, it affects everything. And people are going to have to tiptoe around her just to make sure no relapse occurs. So I disagree with Bruiser on that. She's so lucky said, do you believe that women, regarding a brother in a video that asked a question, do you believe that women who have been through things are not attractive? When she said that brought me back to entertain. Here's why. When Andrew Tate went on Pearly Show, because we discussed this in my Clubhouse room. Battle scars. Battle scars are more attractive on men than women. I'm not talking about physical scars, because I have to clarify that in the room, because a young lady came in, she said, because I got scars from my C-section and all that other stuff. I said, oh, man, hold on. We're not talking about that. Yes, we're not talking about physical scars, because your physical scars will tell a story about what you've been through and how you came on the other side regarding a C-section. And granted, women are built to go through pregnancy, so we understand why you can say that. I'm not gonna call it traumatic. I'm just gonna call it a way of life, and there's a naturality to it. But when it comes to battle scars, I don't want my wife to go through the same thing I go through outside that front door, because it will dampen everything around you. Your whole entire world will be dark. You will look at people differently. You will handle situations in the most uncomfortable manners. So when my wife talked to me about some things, she asked me, how can I go through this stuff? And I say, God, I guess. Not that I guess, I know. I thank God that He has blessed me with the skill set. So when number one, the parent, well, my dad, of course, and the people around him, that's able to instill some type of wealth of knowledge in me to learn how to deal with certain situations. And of course, as a man, I'm supposed to deal with that. And I can handle with my demons a lot better than I would want them her. There's things that I go through, I do not want her to go through, because I'm able to go back to the mechanics of, okay, regardless how I feel, this is what needs to happen, this is what we need to do, and I'm gonna do it. And trust me, there's a lot of dark thoughts in this head of mine. And that's called battle scars. These are battle scars I've obtained in my 35 years of living. See, this looks good on men. This looks good on me, because I can handle some of the worst situations a lot better than she can. And that's how it's supposed to be. So when we talk about trauma hurts women and trauma builds men, yes, I believe I'm a testament of that. I have seen women go through the traumas of being sexually abused. I have seen women go through the trauma of alcohol abuse. I have seen women go through the trauma of being lied on. I have seen women go through the trauma and seeing the outcome of them going down a dangerous path. And sadly, some of them never came back from it. Now, some did go see the Lord, unfortunately. And there's some people who just knocking on that door. So that's why I tell people, when people say that's just a generalization, no. See, when you go through life experience, you don't necessarily need the stats and help. Although a psychologist can back up what I'm saying. I don't need them to, but they can back it up. I'm pretty sure the stats can back up what I'm saying too. When it comes to trauma, unhealed trauma will destroy women. Now, will unhealed trauma destroy men? Maybe, possibly, but years gonna go by, decades even will go by before you see what's what I'm looking for? Before you see a crack in the armor, where women are fragile, and you'll see it just like that. Ladies, I'm sorry, but I'm telling the truth. You know I'm telling the truth. So yeah, when, like I said, do you believe that women who have been through things are not attractive? Yeah, unfortunately. Now, they don't always have to be unattractive, because like I mentioned in my monologue, actually, let me look at it again. Shit. A combination of women's emotion, and depending on their upbringing, they can't deal with unhealed experiences. Whatever you go through, you need to get that checked and you need to get that taken care of, especially if you're a woman. Get that, knock that out the park. The men, yeah, sure, but they got time to waste before they start to see a crack. And they got people surrounding him to make sure that he doesn't fail, especially if he has the right people around him. Now, with that being said, Anton, what did he say? What did he ask? What makes y'all think that everybody's supposed to make it? Okay, I get what he's saying with that. When he brought that up, he was talking about a conversation that I believe Bruiser, Let Go, Queen Sheba, and was talking about how to get help, how to make sure you guys win, and that type of stuff. But truth be told, I get it. Everybody's not going to get to the finish line. Everybody's not going to be in high class. To matter of fact, everybody got to play their position just so the world can continue to spin. The question is, when will it be your turn? So I get it. That's the uncomfortable truth. Much as you try to succeed and strive for greatness, it just it might not never happen for you. And it sucks. Yes, it 100% sucks, but that's just life. You got to deal with the cards that is dealt to you, and you got to learn how to play defense with it. That's it.